Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that half the people you know are gone. Your neighbors, your friends, your family. No one knows why. No one knows how to stop it. And every day, more people disappear. In the 14th century, this wasn't a nightmare. It was reality. Entire cities fell silent. Mass graves filled faster than they could be dug. And millions became convinced they were witnessing the end of the world. Today, we call it the Black Death. But the reality was far worse than most people imagine. When people hear Black Death, they usually think of a disease, a plague, a chapter in a history book. But for those who lived through it, it was much more than that. It was the collapse of everyday life. A disaster so enormous that many believed God had abandoned humanity. To understand why, we need to travel back to 1347, to the moment Europe's nightmare began. Part 1. The Arrival. In October 1347, merchant ships arrived at the Sicilian port of Messina. At first, they appeared ordinary. Then people boarded them. What they found was horrifying. Many sailors were already dead. Others were barely alive. Their bodies were covered in strange, black swellings. Their skin was discolored. Some were coughing blood. Others were delirious. The city authorities ordered the ships away immediately. But it didn't matter. The plague had already arrived, and it was about to spread across an entire continent. Part 2. The disease. The symptoms were terrifying. Victims developed high fevers, violent headaches, vomiting, and painful swellings called buboes. Some grew as large as apples. Dark patches spread across the skin. The smell of infection filled homes. Many victims died within days. Some died within a single day. Families watched healthy relatives become corpses almost overnight. There was no cure, no explanation, only fear. Part 3. Europe collapses. As the plague spread, society began to unravel. Farmers died. Merchants died. Doctors died. Priests died. No one was safe. Fields were abandoned. Markets emptied. Trade routes collapsed. Soon, entire towns began disappearing. In some cities, so many people died that survivors could no longer bury them. Bodies remained inside homes. Others lay abandoned in the streets. The smell of death became impossible to escape. People walked past corpses every day. Eventually, some stopped reacting altogether. Death had become normal. Part 4. The end of the world. The plague spread faster than understanding. People desperately searched for answers. Some believed poisoned air was responsible. Others blamed strange alignments of the planets. Many believed the plague was punishment from God. And some thought something even worse. They believed they were living through the apocalypse, the book of Revelation, Judgment Day, the end of humanity itself. Churches filled with frightened worshipers. People prayed for miracles. But the deaths continued, day after day, month after month, year after year. Part 5. Fear needs a target. Fear quickly became its own disease. Rumors spread faster than facts. Communities searched for someone to blame. Neighbors accused neighbors. Strangers became suspects. Panic turned ordinary people into enemies. History has shown this pattern again and again. When fear becomes overwhelming, people often stop looking for answers and start looking for scapegoats. The Black Death was no exception. Part 6. The Flagellants. One of the strangest responses came from groups known as the Flagellants. They traveled from town to town, publicly whipping themselves, sometimes until blood covered their backs. They believed suffering would convince God to forgive humanity. Crowds gathered to watch. Some joined them. Others feared them. For a time, these processions spread across Europe almost as quickly as the plague itself. Desperate people were willing to try anything. Part 7. The Plague Doctors. Today, one image has become the symbol of the Black Death. The Plague Doctor. The long black coat, the gloves, the cane, and the terrifying bird-like mask. Inside the beak were flowers, herbs, and perfumes. Doctors believed pleasant smells could protect them from disease. Today, the outfit appears almost supernatural, like something from a nightmare. But it represented one of humanity's first attempts to fight an invisible enemy, even if they didn't yet understand what that enemy was. Part 8. Half of Europe. How many people died? No one knows for certain, but historians estimate that between 25 and 50 million people died in Europe alone. Some regions lost a third of their population. Others lost half. Imagine every second person you know suddenly disappearing. Your parents, your children, your closest friends. For millions of Europeans, that wasn't imagination. It was reality. Entire generations vanished. The dead sometimes outnumbered the living. Part 9. The World After. Eventually, the plague slowed, but Europe would never be the same. Entire villages vanished forever. Labor became scarce. Old social structures weakened. The balance of power began to change. In some ways, the Black Death helped create the modern world. But for those who survived, none of that mattered. What they remembered was fear, loss, and silence. The silence left behind by millions of missing voices. The Black Death was not just a disease. It was a psychological catastrophe, a social catastrophe, a human catastrophe. Millions died without understanding why. Many genuinely believed they were witnessing the end of the world. And perhaps that is what makes the Black Death so frightening even today. Not the numbers, not the statistics, but the realization that ordinary people woke up one morning and watched their entire world disappear. If you enjoyed this journey into the darker side of history, subscribe to the Grim Archive. New stories every week. And tell me in the comments, do you think you would have survived the Black Death?